Take a moment, breathe deeply, and let your heart become still. This is not just another day, and these are not ordinary words. December 19th carries a purpose that was set in place long before this moment, and everything has aligned so that this message would meet you exactly where you are. You may have been moving through the noise of life, tired or overwhelmed, but right now Jesus is reaching out to you personally. Not later and not someday, but right now. If these words are in front of you, it is because you were chosen by name to receive them, and this moment deserves your full attention. Something has already begun shifting around you in ways you cannot see, and the next few minutes carry a sacred weight that should not be ignored. Moments like this are rare, and they are not meant to be brushed aside. All over the world, people are busy, distracted, and moving through their routines, yet you stopped here. That did not happen by accident, chance, or technology. Jesus knows how to find those who belong to him, and today he stepped into your routine on purpose. You were gently pulled away from the noise because heaven is not calling out to crowds right now. It is speaking quietly and directly to your soul. Behind the scenes, beyond what your eyes can see, God has been watching the pressure you have been under. He has seen the questions you kept inside, the moments when you felt close to giving up, and the times you whispered that you were not sure how much longer you could keep going. Instead of turning away from your weariness, Jesus drew closer. He has placed Archangel Michael on guard over this very moment to protect it from distraction, doubt, or interference. Timing matters deeply in the spiritual realm, and certain opportunities open only briefly. When they are recognized, they lead forward into purpose, and when they are missed, they quietly pass by. Right now, something in your life is lining up that cannot be postponed any longer. The calm, the warmth, the stillness you may feel is real, and the pull that led you here was intentional. This is not about fear or judgment, but about guidance and preparation for a change that is already unfolding around you. Some transformations are meant to grow quietly before they are revealed, which is why you felt not to speak about this yet. Michael stands beside you as a protector of divine order, guarding what God is building within you and preventing anything from disrupting it. He is positioned at the edge of your future, making sure that doubt, noise, and outside voices do not interfere with what Jesus has planned. Jesus is asking you to stay present and attentive, because every word matters. A truth is about to come into focus, and once it does, you will never view your situation the same way again. Do not rush this moment or let your thoughts wander. This urgency comes from love, not from lack of control. Jesus is stepping in now to guide you before confusion grows and before things drift off course. This is mercy at work. You may wonder why you were chosen, and the answer is simple yet powerful. You listened when it would have been easier to turn away. You believed even when faith felt uncomfortable and fragile. You kept your heart soft when life tried to harden it. Even when your faith felt small and you felt weak, you did not let it disappear. That is why heaven trusts you with this message. Once you fully receive what is being revealed, the atmosphere around your life will begin to shift. Clarity will replace confusion. Peace will move into spaces once filled with anxiety, and decisions that felt impossible will start to make sense. This is not a temporary emotional moment. It is alignment. Michael's presence means you are protected, but it also means you are permitted to move forward. The season ahead is opening, and what once tried to delay or stop you no longer has authority over your life. Jesus is placing a boundary around you that cannot be crossed. Stay centered on his voice and remain present in this moment. What you are about to hear explains why this message needed to reach you today, on December 19th, and why it could not wait even another hour. This is the moment where things begin to come together for you. Take a deep breath and allow yourself to settle. You are safe, you are noticed, and you are exactly where you are meant to be right now. If you sense the presence of the Lord moving through these words, pause for a moment and allow yourself to truly be present in this sacred encounter. Let it be known that you are listening by showing your support and sharing a declaration of faith in God's timing. Stay connected, because what is happening here is part of a greater journey that does not end with a single message. When you help carry messages like this forward, you become part of how God reaches others who are still searching for light. Stay close, because this revelation is only just beginning. As these words settle into your heart, understand that what Jesus is doing right now goes far beyond offering temporary comfort. He is bringing a deep, supernatural clarity into your life. Much of the confusion you have experienced was never because you lacked faith or effort, but because you were surrounded by overwhelming spiritual noise. Too many voices, conflicting opinions, and heavy expectations from people who never fully saw your true calling have weighed on you. Today, Jesus is moving with authority to silence that noise so you can finally hear what has always been true about your destiny. In this holy stillness, heaven is asking you to slow your thoughts, because not everything you have been feeling actually belongs to you. Some of the heaviness you have been carrying was never meant for your shoulders. Jesus knows this, and that is why he reached you today instead of allowing you to keep carrying unnecessary weight into your future. His intervention is meant to separate truth from falsehood in your life once and for all. Archangel Michael stands near you not as a distant symbol, but as an active protector of your spiritual space. His presence assures that distractions may try to pull your focus away, but they will not succeed if you remain attentive. There is a reason your heart feels awake and alert right now. Something deep within you recognizes God's truth when it hears it, and that recognition is being restored. Jesus is asking you to reflect on the last few weeks and notice how certain situations almost worked out, only to suddenly stall. Notice how answers felt close and then slipped away. This was not punishment, but protection. Some doors were intentionally kept closed because walking through them too soon would have caused you to settle for less than what heaven has prepared for you. This is where today becomes serious for your journey. The next phase of your life requires discernment, not panic or rushed decisions. Jesus is correcting your spiritual vision so you no longer mistake urgency for divine alignment. Something feeling immediate does not always mean it is from God, and something taking longer does not mean it is denied. Heaven moves with precision, not fear. You were led to this message because you are standing at a critical decision point. Some of the most important decisions are quiet ones, internal shifts where you decide what you will no longer accept, what you will stop chasing, and what you will finally trust God with completely. Jesus is speaking directly to that inner turning point. There is also a gentle revelation happening now. Someone in your life has been influencing your emotions and your peace more than you realized. Their intentions may not be harmful, but they do not fully understand your calling. Jesus is not asking you to react in anger or bitterness, only to stop allowing others to define your worth or control your direction. As God lifts you higher, not everyone can walk beside you in the same way, and that change must be accepted. Archangel Michael's role here is to divide truth from deception. Where confusion once existed, clarity is being restored. Where self-doubt once lived, a quiet divine confidence is returning. This does not mean every answer will appear immediately, but it does mean you will stop questioning yourself so deeply, and that is a major breakthrough. Jesus is also addressing your fear of missing out on what you are meant to become. You have worried that hesitation might cost you everything, but hear this clearly. What is meant for you cannot pass you by. The only thing that truly delays blessings is acting out of fear. This message reached you before your next step because heaven is protecting you from future regret. Your perspective is shifting, and you are beginning to see that rest is not weakness and patience is not inactivity. Even Jesus rested before great miracles, and silence often came before his greatest revelations. You are being invited into that same sacred rhythm today. Do not rush past this moment, because its importance lies in your awareness. Once you recognize this truth, you are responsible to listen, to pause, and to respond with wisdom instead of impulse. Jesus trusts you with that responsibility, which is why your day was interrupted in this way. Archangel Michael remains watchful, because small distractions and ordinary moments will try to pull you away, but you are being guarded as you step forward with clarity and faith. Everything around you that tries to pull your attention away from this word is meant to distract you. None of those things are dangerous on their own, but when they pile up, they can weaken what God is working inside your heart if you allow it. This is why you must remain intentional and fully present, because what comes next will begin to reveal the deeper reason this message could not wait even one more hour. There is a direct connection between the quiet prayers you have been whispering in your private moments and what is about to unfold openly in your life, and those two moments are far closer than you realize. Let this truth settle deep within you. You are not late, you have not been forgotten, and you have certainly not been overlooked by heaven. You are being prepared with divine care, and preparation often feels like stillness right before movement begins. Stay in this peace because what follows will reshape how you understand everything that comes next in your life. As a way of sealing this clarity, you are invited to express your trust in God's timing and remain connected, because we are moving straight into the heart of what Jesus is revealing. This message feels intense because it reaches deeply into your soul, and Jesus is not speaking from a distance right now but positioning you intentionally for what lies ahead. There are moments when God speaks gently and others when he speaks with urgency, and today carries that urgency because something meaningful is about to respond to your past obedience. Heaven is no longer waiting for circumstances to change around you but for alignment to settle within you, because inner alignment must come before outward manifestation. You have been searching for confirmation, wondering whether to hold on or let go, whether to stay quiet or move forward, and whether what you felt was truly from God or just emotion. Jesus is answering that unspoken prayer right now through these words, confirming that a new conversation between you and heaven has already begun. This is not coincidence but divine orchestration, protected and guarded so confusion and fear have no authority here. What is coming will require a new kind of courage, not because it is dangerous but because it is unfamiliar, and unfamiliar blessings can feel more uncomfortable than familiar pain. You have learned how to survive, but now you are being invited into expansion, which is why this moment feels both heavy and sacred. God is correcting how you have been measuring your progress, because heaven measures growth by obedience, not visible results. You prayed when it felt useless, stayed kind when bitterness would have been easier, and kept your heart open when closing it felt safer, and those choices mattered deeply. Now you are being asked to trust what God shows you next, even if it looks different from what you expected, and to let this understanding settle before taking action. If this message resonates, engage with it and allow it to reach others, because sharing hope makes you a partner in how God moves. You were told not to speak about this yet, not for secrecy but for protection, because not everyone understands divine timing and premature sharing can weaken growing faith. Jesus taught this same wisdom before, and you are learning it now. You will soon begin to recognize patterns in your past, not of failure but of preparation, and if you stay attentive, the full picture will become clear. Receive this moment of alignment, trust divine timing, and know that a season of clarity, protection, and provision has been released over your life, because those who help carry this word will never lack. When you sow into this mission through Super Thanks, membership, or PayPal, you are nurturing lives. Scripture reminds us that when a seed is planted in good soil, heaven opens streams in dry places. Let your giving be a prophetic act of faith, and as you give, may the oil in your household never run dry. May God multiply back to you everything you release in faith. Follow what you feel stirring in your spirit right now. Jesus is leading you to understand that this shift is quiet, steady, and far more lasting than a temporary emotional high. What is happening is a realignment of your inner world so your outer world can follow without resistance. You may already notice that your reactions are changing and that things which once triggered anxiety are losing their hold on you. You are becoming grounded so that what is coming will not overwhelm you when it arrives. The enemy often presses hardest just before clarity comes, which is why confusion, fatigue, or self-doubt may have surfaced recently. These were signs that you were close to breakthrough, not far from it. Heaven prepares you before the skies clear, not after the storm has passed. Archangel Michael remains present because your protection is active during this season of alignment. This transition means old patterns no longer have authority in your life. Emotional resistance is not failure. It is simply part of stepping into a new posture. You are not required to figure everything out today, only to trust what is being revealed one layer at a time. God is giving you exactly what you need for this moment, no more and no less, so you are not overwhelmed. Beneath the surface, deep healing is taking place as disappointments you thought were resolved are gently released through truth. You are realizing that the guilt and regret you carried were forgiven long ago. You are learning to rest in what God has spoken even before it fully appears, and this is how you remain firm without becoming rigid. In the coming hours, Pay close attention to your discernment because you will begin to recognize what truly deserves your energy and what does not. This growth will naturally reduce the need to explain yourself or perform for others. Archangel Michael's presence signals that your boundaries are being restored. Where your kindness was once exploited, protection is now established. And where your silence was mistaken for weakness, authority is rising. Soon you will face internal and external realizations not from fear, but from understanding. This calm mixed with anticipation is a sign that you are safe and ready for alignment. Jesus builds slowly where he intends to build permanently, and you are entering a season where discernment matters more than speed. Stay present in this moment because you are closer than you realize. Jesus is now drawing your attention to a deeper foundation he is forming within you. This transformation is subtle yet powerful because it reshapes how you understand your past so it no longer controls your future. Many people carry heavy stories God never authored and unknowingly repeat painful emotional cycles. But today Jesus is breaking that pattern for you. He is interrupting the mental loops of conversations you wish had gone differently and decisions you have questioned for years. When truth enters, shame loses its voice and you begin to see your history through clarity instead of regret. You are approaching a season where self-doubt would be harmful, so Jesus is addressing it now before the next door opens. Archangel Michael continues to guard you because this phase involves quiet inner battles, not loud confrontations, but challenges against thoughts you accepted as truth for too long, like believing you are behind or unqualified. His presence signals that these lies are being dismantled so you can move forward with confidence rooted in God. You are not being pushed ahead but gently drawn forward by revelation that produces surrender. Your sensitivity to God's voice is increasing, and clarity will come effortlessly through subtle impressions. Jesus is teaching you to recognize his voice without relying on constant external confirmation. This is a refining season where certain desires are softened or redirected so future success does not cost you your peace. You may notice a growing detachment from drama and comparison, which is a sign of spiritual maturity. When your identity is anchored in him, outside noise naturally fades. As this inner work meets your daily life, your tolerance for misalignment is decreasing, and things you once accepted to keep the peace now feel heavy because discernment is awakening within you. You are beginning to understand that true peace comes from truth, and when truth rises, anything false can no longer stay. Jesus is teaching you how to stand firm without needing to explain yourself and how to wait without fear or restlessness. Archangel Michael stands guard, reminding you that greater clarity means being more careful about who you allow into your emotional space. This is a moment of sealing, a divine settling of everything that has been spoken into you and shaped within you. Jesus is not rushing this ending because what is being established now must remain steady long after your emotions change. You are stepping into a sacred crossing where the past no longer defines who you are. The urgency you once felt has turned into a deep, lasting peace. Archangel Michael remains present as a witness to this completion, protecting what has been formed, so it cannot be shaken by fear or confusion. You do not need another sign, because this message itself is the confirmation you asked for. From this point forward, your faith will grow from remembering how clarity replaced your confusion. Consistency will become your strength as you move ahead with trust in divine timing. If this healing word speaks to you, I invite you to like this message and subscribe so you can stay connected to this unfolding journey. Type, "I walk in divine alignment," in the comments to anchor this truth within you. Blessing code 1440 is now released over your life, sealing peace and divine direction. As you feel this stirring within your spirit, remember that those who pour into others will also be renewed. When you support this mission through Super Thanks or PayPal, you help bring light to those who are still searching quietly. Follow the prompting in your spirit and move forward in the authority that Jesus has restored to you today.